Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you are doing great. We are back again with another tutorial. Thank you so much for your comments and your likes. I might not be able to reply everyone, but I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Please, if this is your first time of watching my video, don't forget to subscribe. You can join the family. So let's get to business. In this video, we're going to be making a dress with a balloon sleeve and with a flag at the bottom of the dress. So this is the one I made before. It was mistakenly deleted, so I decided to make another one. I'm making for a client. This is the balloon sleeve. So this is the down part. This is flag. So I'll be making another one just to replace the one that was deleted. This is the fabric I'm working with. This is African print. To determine the fabric you cut out, we use the biggest part of the body, which is the hip measurement. And the hip measurement I'm working with is 49 inches. Then I added some allowance to it for zip and the dart allowance. And this is the upper part, and the down part to be flared. Like I said earlier, I used the biggest part of the body to cut out the fabric. That's the hip measurement. So I'm folding it into two now. So the fabric is folded into two. This is the back side. The back side is 2 inches bigger than the front one because of the zip allowance. I placed the two together. The down part, this is the down and this is the front one. So we'll go ahead and place the measurement. So the shoulder measurement is 16 inches. 16 divided by 2 is 8 inches. Then I'll be adding half an inch for seam allowance. That is 8.5 inches. I'll place my 8.5 inches here. I'm taking 10 inches for the armhole. So this is my armhole. I'll draw a line here. Making the front one a V neckline. The wideness of the neck is 4 inches. Now, and the length is 5.5 inches. So like I said earlier, it's a V neckline, and the back will just be normal round neckline. So I'll draw this to meet the 5.5 inches I marked out. I'll mark my 1 inch shoulder slant here. Shoulder to bust is 11 inches. Place my 11 inches here. Shoulder to waist is 18 inches. 18 inches. Then from the waist to hip is 9 inches. So this is the remaining one. And the length of the upper part is 37 inches. 37 inches length. The bust measurement I'm working with is 45 inches divided by 4, which is 11.25. Then I'll be adding 2 inches for seam allowance. The waist measurement is 41 inches divided by 4, which is 10.25. So I place my 10.25 here. And I'll add 2 inches for seam allowance. Then I'm adding 1 inch for that. The hip measurement is 49 inches divided by 4, which is 12.25. This is 12.25. I'm adding 2 inches for seam allowance. So we'll go ahead and connect the lines together. I'll take it from bust to waist. Then from waist to hip. then hip, down. So this is the tie that I'll be removing 1 inch from this place. I'll be taking 1 inch here or 2 inches to curve it, then I'll bring it down to the length. And for the armhole, I will take half of the armhole, which is 5 inches here. Make a curve here. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. So I'm cutting out the front neckline. And for the back side, I will take 2 inches for the depth. Then still on 4 inches here. And connect it. So I'm cutting out the back neckline. So I'll set them aside. So we'll be cutting out the down part of the dress. That is the flare. So I'll go ahead and fold my fabric. I'm folding it into 2. My fabric is folded into 2. And I'll fold it again. Now it's folded into 4. You measure the circumference where you'll be joining them together. That will determine how many inches you're going to be cutting out for the flare. The circumference of where I'll be joining it, that is the ties, the circumference of where I'll be joining the flare and the upper part together is 49 inches. So I will divide it by 2 because I'm cutting out 2 of that. So when I divide it by 2, it gives me 24.5. So 24.5 inches. That 24.5 inches, I'm going to use half of the circumference. That is the half of the circumference is 24.5 inches. I'll use it to cut out this first one because I'm cutting out these 2. 49 inches divided by 2 is 24.5 inches. So half of that one is this one. Then I'll use this to cut the other half again. 24.5 divided by 6.28 is 3.9. Let me say it again. 24.5 divided by 6.28 is 3.9. So I'll rather round it to 4 inches. So from top here, I'll take 4 inches. So I will now take the length. The length is 31 inches plus seam allowance, so I will mark 31 inches round. So I'll be cutting it out. I'll cut out the 4 inches first, the upper side. And I'm cutting out the down part. So I'll use this to cut the other side. Remember I said I'll be cutting out 2 of these. This is for the front one. I'll cut out the back side again with this. So I'll place my fabric, lay my fabric on the table and use this to cut the other one. We'll now go ahead and start putting the fabrics together. I'm adding lining to this dress. I cut out the lining the same way I cut out the fabric. It's just the same method. So I just sew it from this side and then flip it to the other side, and then stitch it here and the other, and stitch the other side of the dress. So next is for us to insert the dart. And for the back side, I have to split it into 2 because this is where the zip will go through. So we'll start putting the dart now. So the bust point is 9 inches, point to point 9 inches. So the bust to bust is 9 inches. Divide 9 inches by 2, which is 4.5 inches. So my fabric, I will fold it into 2. This is the front one. So 4.5 inches. I'll add half an inch for seam allowance. That is 5 inches. This is the bust line. This is the bust measurement. So I'll come 1 inch below the bust measurement. That is where my dart will start from. So I will take 5 inches all the way down. So I make sure I stop here. I will stop 3 inches above the hip line. Make sure you don't get the dart line, don't get to the hip line. So my dart will stop here, 3 inches above the hip line. So I'm pinning it. This is 1 inch dart, half an inch on this side and half an inch on the other side. Let me check the measurement, the length. This is 11 inches. Doing the other side, and I also do this to the back panel. So I've pinned this side and this side. I'll do the same thing to the back panel. And don't forget to remove remember we have 1 inch for zip allowance at the back side. Don't forget to minus your 1 inch for zip allowance before you put in this dart. So I'll go ahead and sew in the dart. Then before we attach the zip to the back panel. So after sewing the dart, then I will add my zip here. And I'll insert my zip here. I measure the zip length and sew it, pin it, and my 1 inch for the zip allowance. So I'll pin the zip to the fabric. I'll pin this on also this side. So I will sew the zip to the back side. So I'll go ahead and sew the dart to the front and the back panel, then insert my zip to the upper part of the dress. So I'll finish sewing the dart and I'll attach my zip to the back side. We'll now go ahead and attach the down part to the upper part. That is the flared. You attach the flared to the upper part of the dress. This is the right side of the upper part and the right side of the down side. They are facing each other. So I'll pin them together like so. I'm pinning the upper part and the down part together. Pin this side. I'll pin the front panel as well. I will turn this. This is the back one. And this is the front one. The floor is very full. Pin my shoulders together. And join this side, this other shoulder. So I'll go ahead and join this place together. Join the shoulders together, then the both side. I'll finish sewing the shoulder, the two sides, and the down part of the dress. Next is for us to cut out the balloon sleeve. So we'll cut out a basic sleeve first. I'm cutting out 10 inches basic sleeve, then 1 inch for seam allowance. Marking. On my channel, I have a video on how to cut out a basic sleeve in case you don't understand this. I'm cutting out 2 of these. I'll use this to cut the other one. I'm sorry for the noise. Children are playing outside because the weather is very good. Now I'll cut out the 2 sleeves. So we're going to be cutting out the down part. That's what makes it a balloon sleeve. I will use this basic sleeve to cut out the length. So when you open it wide, after I open it wide, is 16, let's say 17 inches. So this is 17 inches. This is the tip. That is the ankle of the sleeve, the tip. Then I'll be cutting out triple of this measurement, this 17 inches, into 3 places. So this is the 1, 2, and 3. So I'm cutting out triple 3 times of this. I'm cutting out 3 times of this, just to make the gather very full. If you want yours more than that, you can increase it to the amount you want. This is 17 inches. So next is for me to use a gather stitch in my machine to stitch the one side. That is the longest stitch in my machine to stitch this place, one side. So I'm making 2 lines. Yeah, so I'm stitching 2 lines here. I will make the first one, make the second one. I'm making it 2 because in case it cuts while pulling it, you have the other one to rely on. So I'm taking 1 strand of the thread and I'll go ahead and pull it. You just have to be careful while pulling it. You pull it to make the gather. You keep on pulling it until you get to that 17 inches measurement. You can go this side and pull it if you want to. You pull it halfway on this side, and you can go this side again and pull it. Let me check if it's up to that 17 inches I'm looking for. I still need to pull it a little bit. So yeah, I think it's up to 17 inches now. So I'll finish pulling it. I will go ahead and take this. That is the basic sleeve. You open it very wide. So I'll pin here. I'll pin them together. So after pinning them together, I will turn it to the wrong side. So after joining them together, I'll go ahead and sew the side of the sleeve before we attach it to the dress. I'll finish sewing the side of the balloon sleeve. So I'm going to attach it to the dress before we insert the elastic. I will turn the wrong side of the dress. I'm just using one side of the sleeve. And this is the right side. And we're tucking it inside. Tuck it inside like so. Take the side here, where I join the sleeves. This side where I join the sleeve, and here I'll match them together. Pin it around the armhole. I'll finish pinning it. I'll do the same thing to the other side, and I'll go ahead and sew the armhole around. Finish attaching the sleeve to the dress. So what I'm going to do next is to take my elastic, and here I have to sew. I sew 1 inch. I fold 1 inch and sew it all around, because my elastic is half an inch, but I need it to have enough space inside so it can pass through. If you're doing yours, you have to measure your elastic to know how many inches you're going to sew, so that your elastic will fit in very well. So I sewed around here, 1 inch around. I left 1 inch unsewed here. This is where my elastic will pass through. So just take your pin and your elastic, put it inside like so. Push it inside. So it's coming out through the other side. As you're doing it, you check the size, the measurement of the tip, the ankle. I think for me it's okay like this. Cutting out the remaining one. And now we stitch here. I will use this zigzag stitch to seal the elastic. So here is the balloon sleeve. And I will do the same thing to this side again, this side of the sleeve. And the down part, just go ahead and then hem the button of the dress. So that's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. See you on my next video. Please subscribe to my channel. This is your first time of watching my video. I'll see you on my next one. Bye.